He's big, like no ordinary man. Strong in a world that does not breed strong people. He's well-traveled and has many miles yet to go. He's determined. A dusty road and a hot sun blind him, but he knows they are there. The breeze kicks up dust that enters his nose, his mouth, his ears, but he can still smell, taste, and hear them. The rock formations along this lonely trail conceal them. There are 3, maybe 4. Any other person would not have felt them.
Come on out. I know you're there.
They appear, 4 of them, 2 on each side of the road, 2 behind, 2 in front.
Oh, look. We have enough for a square dance. We don't have to do this. I could let you boys walk away.
Looky what we have here. He's a biggin'. What do you think, boys? Should we just walk away?
I think he doesn't like us. Don't you like us, mister?
I just want you to be able to walk away. Maybe you could live a little bit longer.
I don't think you can count too good. There's 4 of us, 1 of you.
Well, that doesn't seem fair now, does it? Want to go get your sisters and come back? That'll make things a little more even. Oh, wait.
Get him!
So begins the violence. Bone crushing, blood splattering. First one hits the ground not to get up, then another, bashed against a rock.
No, please!
Then it was down to just him and one of them. He wipes blood from his cheek and his forehead. It is not his. He feels the violence in his hands, the tools of the trade, and in his lungs, grabbing for extra breath.
Wait! You don't have to do this!
Oh, I wish I didn't, but now I'm angry and can't let it go. How many lives have you taken advantage of out here? How many souls have the misfortune of meeting you? You should have just walked away. Well, it ends now.
And that's how it goes out here in the wasteland. Everybody for themselves, scroungers and takers. One good person far and few between. It is the years beyond here on Earth, beyond the civilizations that made mankind. Beyond the glass cities and brick facades, beyond the libraries, universities, and department stores. Beyond the things that bring mankind together, rather a life that pulls them apart, every person for themselves. But to get here, we must go back. It happened sometime in 1956 when a slick-haired kid with a guitar and a backing band and a list of faster-paced R&B songs lit up something called television, a throwback tech that allowed for pictures to be transmitted across empty space. The young man throwing the world into a rubber-legged dance craze put his generation on a path to awakening. But for the older generations, only fear. So much fear, in fact, that in ancient peoples known only as Reds threatened the world so much, our forefathers acted first and created what was known as the Great Startup. Now, some 200 years later, we find ourselves in this wasteland of a world. Barren, hot, dusty, and dry, that is what the world has become. Most people now eke out a sparse living, or steal it from others. Plants, animals, people, barely anything grows. These are the wastelands. It's best we don't think on it too much. Besides, the records are spotty and no one really knows the past anyway, right? Just tales of the old from those who weren't really there. Our focus now on an isolated farm, dilapidated and sparse, a dreary, gray place. The crop here is a certain type of onion, the only slimy thing that will grow in the soil. It's a sad place, even before you know it's a sad place, full of sad people. On this day, the matriarch is laid to rest by her children, only 6 of the 9. One, Oakley, died shortly after birth some years back. Another, Otis, drowned after falling into the well. 6 left on the farm from youngest to oldest: Olive, Owen, Omar, Orrin, Otter, and Orla. Threadbare, gaunt, bony, and tired, the lot of them. Olive just a kid of 6, Owen at 8, Omar now 10, Orrin just about to turn 14. Otter is a 17-year-old teenager in a world with no such designation. And Orla, barely 18, and now the woman of the house. The patriarch of the family had left some 5 years past. He was searching for something better for his family, leaving them nothing but picking up his slack. That meant more work and a broken promise to return someday with the hope of a brighter tomorrow. The mother did her best all by herself to keep the children going, waiting for the day he would come back. You could say she died of a broken heart, but really there wasn't much love between them anymore. She more likely died of too much work and too little healthy living. A short time before the father left, so did the oldest boy, eager to sow some wild oats or just explore the possibility of something better. Ollie set off on his own, heading north into an unknown land, unknown opportunity, and the excitement of real danger. He left at 17 and is now returning at 22. Yes, it was this day, the day his siblings were saying their final goodbyes to the woman who'd given everything she could, that he returns.
Well, I see things don't change much around here.
He looks at the farm from a distance, the house, the barn, the onion fields. What he sees brings back memories, but any happy ones are few. Then he begins the trek up the long driveway.
Golly, Orla, it looks like someone's coming up to the house.
Hello, Ollie.
Orla. And this must be Otter. Taller than I remember.
Well, it has been 5 years. Say hi to your brother, Otter.
Golly, Ollie, where have you been?
All over these ways, kid. Trying to find something better.
Did you find it, Ollie?
Well, let's just say I'm back here. But still looking.
Well, come on inside and see the kids. I'll fix you a plate of onions.
Onions still give you the gas, Otter?
Well, that's all we got to eat around here, Ollie.
Ollie slips his large arm over Otter's skinny frame, hanging it on his shoulder. Otter slumps a bit, but he doesn't mind. His big brother is back. The kids catch Ollie up on the last 5 years. How Dad convinced Mom he should go take a look around the waste and see if he could muster up something better for the family. He promised to be gone just a few weeks, maybe months, but never to return. Mom, alone with the kids, did the best she could until she couldn't do it anymore and died. Ollie had just missed her. The next morning, Ollie finds Orla in the kitchen.
So what are you going to do now, Ollie? There's plenty to do around here, these kids.
This isn't my life anymore, Orla. Really, it never was.
Figures.
Look, I want what you want. What's best for these kids. There are a few settlements out there. They aren't perfect, but they probably offer more opportunities than this run-down onion farm.
I've heard the rumors of those places. People barely hanging on, Thieves, slavers, gangs, people who take whatever they can from you. No, we're staying right here. We're remote enough, haven't had too much trouble over the years. Nothing we couldn't handle anyway.
They're not all like that. There are some decent folk out there. People trying to build something out of nothing.
Far and few between. No, sir, we'll keep our place here. It's what we know.
All right, then. You want to stay? Then I'll go find Dad. Bring him back here to his responsibilities. It's not fair for you to be the only one.
Ha! Fat chance. He's either dead or somebody's slave boy. There's been no word or rumor of him these past 5 years. Fine. If you're going to go, then go. Just like every other adult in this family. But do me a favor, and take Otter with you. He's a good kid, but he needs a man's perspective. He needs to grow up.
Hell no, Orla. It's rough out there in the waste. He's not ready.
Then get him ready.
The siblings suddenly notice Otter listening in from the doorway.
Oh, hey, kid.
I can go. Let me go with you.
Sorry, kid. Ain't gonna happen.
For the next few weeks, Ollie sets about 2 goals. 1, fuel. He builds a still and uses the family's onions to create the precious go juice, an alcohol made from the smelly fruit. It produces high octane levels, but it is a bit sickly smelling. The juice gets the job done, though. Second, he builds a hot rod, using old cars, engines, and parts from around the farm and surrounding area. He puts Otter to work helping, and the pair grow closer as the days pass. Carefully, they clean, fit, bend, tweak, and modify until something that resembles a roadworthy vehicle appears before them. Ollie is in the barn putting the finishing touches on the hot rod.
Golly, Ollie, it sure is pretty.
Yeah, she's a peach, all right.
She?
Those lines, those curves. Can't be anything but a she.
What are you gonna name her?
I knew a Daisy once. Yeah, Daisy.
Yeah, I like Daisy. Ollie, why can't I come with you?
It's just too dangerous, kid.
I can handle myself. And I ain't scared. I'm big enough, and I'm getting stronger.
You want to be strong, kid? Yeah, you'll get there. In this world, though, what you need is to be tough. That's more important than power. There isn't anything out there on this world but great big death. Marauders trying to take. Bandits trying to steal. Psychos with the freedom to do whatever their sick minds can conjure. Charlatans, hucksters, death dealers, clowns, gangs, killers, mutants, ghouls, painted ladies. Everyone trying to survive on basically nothing. People like us are left picking the scraps off bones of a world we never even knew. Otter, I've been east, I've been north, and I've been south. While there are some good people out there, most everyone you are bound to meet will just try to figure out what they can take from you. It's not safe. Our old man is out there somewhere out west. If he's still alive, I'm going to bring him back where he belongs, to take care of his kid and to run this farm.
But how am I ever to learn to be a man like you, Ollie, if you won't let me learn? I'll be good. I'll do whatever you tell me. I'll help. We'll find Dad and come right back. That's the mission, right?
In this world, kid, there are really only 2 pursuits for a man. One is just surviving the day and getting through till tomorrow. The other, well, let's just say involves something else with nice lines and curves. Something a little softer.
Wait, like my pillow?
Look, out there, everything hurts. You got to want to get through it. You do as I say, and if anything happens, you pick up what you can and you run. Yeah, maybe you better come with me. It's gonna be rough. We may not find Dad. Hell, we may not even make it back in one piece. Or at all.
With that, the brothers load Daisy. They wave goodbye to the kids. The open road beckons. The mission is clear. Whatever dark and dusty roads they take, whatever dangers they may face, they will find Dad and bring him home where he belongs. Some days later, the boys find themselves camped, off-road, under a desert sky. The stars are bright, covering this quiet earth like a familiar blanket. The night comes early this time of year, so Ollie feels like they have not traveled as far as he would have liked. He waited until the last minute to pull off to this spot, necessitating a hasty camp setup. Nevertheless, the campfire burns hot and bright, and they've filled their bellies with goodness from home.
Ollie, are you awake? Oh, okay. Just checking.
The fire crackles and the world feels at peace.
Ollie? Never mind.
You don't have to let me know every time you need to take a leak, or just need a few minutes by yourself. Just don't wander off too far and keep the firelight in view.
Okay, Ollie. I'll be right back.
Take your time, kid. Some things shouldn't be rushed. Pooping's one of them.
Otter heads towards a large pile of rocks with a singular focus. As soon as Otter is out of the fire's light, Ollie senses them. One heading up the trail behind Otter, silently. The other comes in his direction. Ollie quickly snakes his way out of the light. He palms a hand-sized rock from the ground, but quickly decides it's not right and grabs another. He holds his breath and then heaves the limestone towards the near impossible-to-see assailant moving towards Otter. 2 thuds, and that one is down. Next, he focuses on the second, who has stopped in his tracks, alerted by the noises of the rock on flesh. Suddenly, Ollie is behind him, his large arm around his neck, the other firmly around his midsection.
Are there any more of you?
The man does not answer, so Ollie tightens his grip.
You should answer me.
The man shakes his head no. Ollie continues the pressure until the would-be assailant passes out. He drags the man out behind some large boulders about 20 yards or so from camp. Then he finds the other one and carries him to join his friend. He checks the first man and collects a small knife plus a tiny bit of food, bread of some sort, and water.
Thanks for this.
He searches the second.
Figures. Nothing.
Ollie heads back to camp and lays down. He enjoys the sounds of the fire for a few moments. Then Otter comes wandering back into camp.
All good?
Oh yeah, Ollie. All good. Ollie.
Yeah?
Am I gonna be able to drive someday?
We'll see how it goes, kid. Now get some sleep.
Okay, Ollie. Good night.
Sweet dreams.
The next morning it's early when Otter wakes up. Ollie has Daisy packed and ready.
Morning, sunshine. Time to hit the road.
Oh, no breakfast?
We'll eat on the road.
Ollie jumps into the hot rod and he gives a let's go wave to his brother. Otter rushes to collect his stuff and jump in the passenger seat.
Where to next, Ollie?
We'll see, kid. We'll see.
The car sputters to a start, then the engine roars. The boys are set for another day on the road. Just outside of camp, a man wakes up, face down in the dirt. His neck hurts. He can't quite remember how he got there. His buddy is still passed out a couple of feet away. He has a dried trickle of blood down the back of his head. He checks him, still alive. He lays back down. Maybe he'll just rest there for a while.